Welcome back to Money Mind, your one-stop channel for your financial education. I'm here to help you master your money and build your wealth. In this video, we are going to learn why Dave Ramsey's baby steps work, and we're going to explain in detail each of the 7 baby steps, so you can better understand how to be good with money. These baby steps are taken out of Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, and the link will be down in the description below. If you haven't read that book yet, I suggest you read it, as it's an absolute personal finance life changer. Here we go. Baby step number 1 is to save $1,000 for an emergency fund. The reason Dave suggests this is because life happens, and when you are going to start your financial journey, there may be any unexpected expenses, like medical expense, or your car needs to be repaired, or anything for that matter. You need to save the $1,000 immediately, as a starter emergency fund. If you already have the $1,000, put that in a separate account, maybe a savings account, that you can access quickly in case of an unexpected emergency. Once this is done, you can proceed to baby step number 2. Step number 2 is pay off all debt other than your mortgage. This includes all consumer debt, like credit card debt, personal debt, student loans, and even your car loan. There's 2 ways to attack debt. One is the debt snowball, where you start with the least debt amount and pay it off and then go on to the next one, irrespective of the interest rate. The other way is debt avalanche. In this method you start off by paying the highest interest debt first, and so on and so forth. The reason Dave suggests debt snowball is because the debt snowball psychologically works better than a debt avalanche. So, I highly recommend that you guys take this advice and seriously work on paying off the debt, because being debt-free is the best thing that can happen to you financially. Baby step 3 is to have an emergency fund. It's 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This is to prevent you to take on debt if there is an emergency. Dave wants you to have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of living expenses, so you know you are covered for worst case scenario, in case anything unexpected happens, and you don't have to take on debt. Let's say that your monthly expenses are $2,000. You know that you need to save up 6 months, which is $12,000. God forbid, you lose your job, or you have a medical issue, or you become ill, and you don't have that income coming in. This allows you to live up to 6 months, until you can establish yourself until the situation gets better. The best place to have this money is to have an account that is easily accessible and liquid, like a savings account, or a checking account, or a money market account, where you can tap into the funds in case you need them. This brings us to baby step number 4. This is where you actually start to plan for retirement. You want to invest 15% of your household income into some sort of pre-tax or tax advantage account, like a Roth IRA, or a 401k, or a TFSA, or a RRSP, depending on where you live. Once you're done maxing out your retirement accounts, you reach baby step number 5, which is saving for college funding for your kids, and if you don't plan on having kids, you can skip this step, or save for a niece or a nephew, but that's totally up to you. There are multiple tax advantage accounts where you can do this, based on where you live, but contact a professional for better advice. Baby step number 6 is to pay off your home early. A lot of you might be thinking that investing in the stock market, or private lending, might get you better interest rate. This is true from a mathematical standpoint. However, from a peace of mind standpoint, I'm definitely on board with Dave on this one, but in my opinion, when it comes to paying off your primary residence, where you're actually living and raising a family, this gives you an enormous peace of mind that a rate of return simply cannot compete with. I'll let you decide on which one you prefer more. This brings us to baby step number 7, which is about giving. If you have reached this stage financially, this is when your wealth has already increased to a level of self-sustenance. This really empowers you to be a better member of the society, or the world. This is where you can give to charity, or you can fund someone's college, or do what gives you the most satisfaction. You must be wondering, why do these baby steps work? Well, it's in the name, these are baby steps. You don't run before you walk. Paying off your house or donating before paying off other debts doesn't make sense. Or having an emergency fund when you have debt simply doesn't make sense. Dave's baby steps are practical and guarantee almost 100% success financially, if done correctly. Dave stresses that borrower is a slave to the lender. This couldn't be more true. If you have debt and are paying interest, you are spending your time in exchange for money to be able to pay the debt. This is modern-day slavery. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with a friend or a family member who you think might find this helpful. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you in another video.